Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalia. I'm a singer and a vocal coach, and today I have a very, very special guest, and she's a rock star, not only on stage, but she's a rock star in social media and marketing.
Oh,
so, Jasmine Sandler, give her a hand. Our fake audience. We just need us, and we're good, right?
She's just too much.
She's just too much. So I brought Jasmine in because I feel there's a void, a huge void, and a huge need for artists and singers and whoever is performing on stage to learn how to brand themselves better and to bring their art and themselves and make money out of it. And there's no shame about it, right? We all deserve to be paid for our talents and our value. So before we start, I would just want to ask you, my dear, how did you start this whole empire you have for 14 years?
It is an empire.
Yes.
Thanks for noticing.
Of course.
So how did I start it? Is that the question?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go back even a little bit further if you don't mind.
Of course, go ahead.
So when I was 6 years old, I saw a commercial on TV. I thought I'm supposed to go into advertising. I swear. Since I was little. So I pursued a career in advertising, and I got in advertising, okay? I worked for Young and Rubicam, like the 75th largest ad agency in the world at the time.
Wow.
But I got in as an intern, and I started to pursue this career in advertising.
Did you study it in college or?
Undergrad, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was split between an ad major and an English minor, so I'm a writer.
Nice.
You know.
Nice.
So anyways, I started my career in advertising, worked in that for a while, and then I kind of shifted into marketing, right? So I shifted into marketing. So here I had a traditional Madison Avenue advertising branding background, shift into marketing, which is more quantitative, right? Which is really about measurement, right? Measuring the effectiveness of campaigns, measuring the sales results of a brand.
It's all about results.
Okay. So I did that. And I always had this like yearning to own my own business.
Interesting.
Always.
Why?
I don't know. Always. Like
I love it.
Probably because I don't fit in. I don't fit in that cookie cutter.
Yeah, you want to make your own rules.
I'm different, and
You are.
And I come up with ideas in like a half of a second for companies. It's just who I am.
It just comes to you.
So that's my value, and that's what I should be doing.
Yeah.
Right. So anyways, the
Love it.
point is, so I left a company. I got into technology, and I went and got my MBA. I was like, all right, to own a business or to be an artist and make money, you have to understand finance. From simple financial management.
You do.
You have to understand about operations. You have to understand about productizing. You have to understand about creating revenue models. You have to understand that if you actually want to be a business owner. I don't care if you're a solo singer or songwriter.
You're a business.
Right?
That's the thing. You have to treat yourself as a business.
Or you're like my boyfriend, who's a professional comic book artist, illustrator, extremely talented. His Indiegogo campaign is coming out next week. Finally, God, please do something.
Please do something.
Anyway.
Do something.
So I got into technology very early. I was catapulted by IBM. I started like on a junior position after grad school, catapulted very quickly to a senior level director of sales position.
Boom.
In technology.
Love it.
Right.
Yes.
9/11 happened. Terrible. Worst thing that's ever in my lifetime happened, right?
I'm sure.
So 9/11 happened, and my division got completely downsized.
Wow.
But I already had an idea for a social network. Very early. Very early.
It was just that push you needed.
I needed the push.
Yeah.
So my passions in life and the things that I do outside of business every day, one is music, and the other is sports. So I'm a hockey player. I've been playing hockey for 15 years. I'm a total sports junkie. I used to do aggressive inline skating. I've been surfing. I mean,
How did you get into hockey?
I'm a total sports person.
I love it.
So I started this social network called Extreme Connections. It was about bringing together a community of action sports enthusiasts in a way that they would get sponsored, that they could sell their products online, right? So I built that community very early.
Nice.
Okay, so I built the community, and then what happened was, by building that community, I literally learned everything there is to know about digital marketing many years ago. I built the community, designed the site, did the web development, managed people around the world in making this thing happen, went out and created partnerships, managed campaigns. I basically did everything that a large agency does by myself,
Right.
boom, at a very young age.
That's amazing.
So I did that. From that exodus of that company in the dot-com bust, which was in 2000, whatever that was, 4, these agencies started calling me and saying, hey, you know what? We saw what you did. Can you consult for us? So I started to consult for these companies and then went full time for like one or two of them.
Right.
And then I just kept coming across the same thing. Like, I want to have a bigger impact. I want to do something bigger.
Right.
So I was speaking at a conference as a full-time employee for an agency. And these people came up to me after my speech and said, oh my God, we want to hire you in your agency. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving this agency and starting my own.
Oh.
That was April 2006.
Okay, wow.
Okay, so I started the agency April 2006 with my own mission to provide agency level of services to the small guys.
Yes.
Everybody from like the individual
They can't afford this crazy
to the
rate.
small
Yes.
business.
Yes.
So I have a lot, my reason for giving you that whole long story is because my background is varied, because I have traditional
You touch every area.
branding, I have traditional
Oh,
marketing,
so good.
traditional advertising, technology, right? And then I've done it. Like I've been there, done that.
Yes, so you know exactly
I know, so-
every aspect.
So I am like very useful in being able to pinpoint like really lightning fast.
Yeah.
What
see
a problem is.
Yeah, exactly.
What the problem is.
Right.
You know.
You can have somebody that runs Facebook ads and it just doesn't work.
True.
Because their
Yeah.
message is not strong enough, or
Right.
whatever they offering is not strong enough. So you really pinpointing and knowing all those factors, it's
Yeah.
huge. It's a huge
Yeah.
thing.
And so there's two sides to it that I was telling a client the other day. Right. Is like there's recommendations that I provide as a consultant or whatever, right? As a
Right.
trainer, as a keynote speaker, as a person that runs a conference series.
Right.
But when I work one-on-one with clients or do my online coaching and all that jazz, it's just as much what I can tell you what you shouldn't do. It's just as important.
That's very true what you just said.
Because an artist, and that's a loose term, because a true artist, we'll say a musician is not a true artist. There's a whole debate. But that has nothing to do with this
Listen.
interview. Anyway, so, you know, you could be doing multiple things and keep doing it and not hitting your goals. But there's millions of reasons why it's not happening. And unless you have an outsider who has experience looking at it, you just keep going in the wrong direction.
Nice.
So-
So what was the biggest obstacle you had in your business when you started your own business, right? What was the biggest obstacle you overcame?
Doing it all by myself. That's it.
So that was your strength and kind of like the weakest link
Yeah.
at the same time, right?
Always, yeah.
But I feel like at the beginning you just have to do it all.
You
like
have
for
to.
me, I'm a one-woman show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I do the editing, I do the filming, I do the singing, I do this, I
Right.
do the and then you have to really understand what you really enjoy most doing,
Then you focus on that.
and then you focus on that and you hire the people to do the rest.
Oh, 100. That's
Hiring, it's the big one, right?
It's the hardest.
It's the hardest because it's trust, right? And
It's more than that to me. I've had so many employees and so many people and so many
Yeah.
people, and it's a serious relationship.
It is. It's
Between
like
you-
marriage, you know?
It's a serious relationship because you have to be very honest. And your job as an employer, I don't care if it's like one of my good friends is a top photographer in Manhattan. He shoots for the Rangers. And he's like, he has an assistant. I'm like, okay, you have an employee. How are you treating them? You know? Because that person, maybe they want to become a big photographer someday.
Of course.
So your job as an employer is really to be honest, to help, and to identify somebody's strengths.
Yes.
You know, so being an employer is a job,
It is. It is.
you know? And
It's
so
not a one-way street. It's like only you serving me.
That's
but
right.
it's, yeah,
it's a job.
of course.
So for anybody that is creating a business, which is, okay, so we're talking to musicians today, right?
Are we? Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
hopefully.
No, I'm kidding.
No, but musicians, right? So if you say, okay, I want my career, my business, I want to be a musician, then that is your business and you have to be serious about it, right?
Right.
So it takes, my point is it takes a different way of thinking rather than Michael Gerber, who I've now finally connected with and had a conversation with, which is amazing. He's the author of E-Myth. Everybody should read that book.
Okay.
I wouldn't make a penny from telling you that.
Right, right,
Please
right.
read it.
Right.
It is awesome.
Okay.
So he's written many, many books. He's a very well-known person.
Okay.
Very well-known. So he and I finally had a conversation because I read all his books. He's amazing. So what he talks about in E-Myth, the first book of the series of 3, is that if you just do your skills, you're not a business owner. So if you're a musician, you're just playing. I always do this. Even though I'm a singer, I always do this. I don't know why.
If you're a singer,
I always do this. It's a thing.
It's a tick.
But anyway, no,
It's
I don't
good.
mind. I want to be a guitarist maybe. But I love guitarists. They're the coolest people.
I know.
But the coolest.
They're the most dangerous one.
I agreed. They are.
I'm kidding.
But anyway, my point is, you are a business.
You are a business.
And I've
100%.
consulted for many bands and many musicians, and I cry when they don't do what they're supposed to do, and they're still playing those local clubs.
So my question for you.
It really bothers me.
So who was your favorite, not favorite, but I say, what was your kind of favorite client, musician, band, whoever you worked with?
Oh, yeah.
It sparked the light.
No,
So
because
who
it's crazy. Because
tell us what's the
man.
process? What happened there?
Oh my God, it's crazy because I gotta just keep saying I've been doing this for so long. It's nuts. So back when I was, I don't even know, it was well over. So I've had this business 14 years. It was over 10 years ago. I was in Miami doing some business, and this guy by the name of Leo Quintero. He is amazing jazz musician.
Okay. What he does?
Amazing.
Singing, playing?
Everything.
Everything.
He's
Oh,
the
God.
bomb, Leo Quintero.
Woo.
So he does Latin jazz. He's amazing. So anyways, I went to a show, I met him, whatever. I was like, oh my God, Leo, you're awesome. He hired me. He hired me, and like most musicians do, like, I want a logo or something small, but they need it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Something recognized.
Or like
Yeah.
design my Facebook page. It's something like, to me, very minuscule because it's part of a way bigger goal, right?
Of course.
So he said, hey, can you help me with my album cover? Because at that time, believe it or not, I was doing graphic design. I was doing everything.
Yeah.
So I was designing menus for Miami-based restaurants. Anyway, so he saw my work. He's like, can you do this? So I designed his album cover. This was like a million years ago. So a couple years ago, I was rebuilding my agency. So I have a few businesses. One is my digital marketing agency, which is agency, agent-cy.com. So anyways, I was rebuilding agency's website yet again for the 9 millionth time. And I was like, you know what? I want to have a band section on the website that's just for musicians. You know, so discounted services, all for musicians.
Beautiful.
So I was like, what case study do I want to put up there? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to look up, what is Leo Quintero doing these days? I looked him up. Oh my God. He's been all over the world. Okay?
Right.
He only focuses on music. He makes all his money from music.
That's such an amazing achievement.
He is like a superstar.
And what do you think was the key for him to make him to go to
I know exactly what it was.
what it was?
He was one of the few musicians that I've worked with as clients that thought, that really believed in himself, that what he was doing was a full-time gig.
He didn't have
full-time.
there was
He
no
didn't have-
second plan.
He didn't have like this,
Plan
I'm going to
B.
do something else. He's
Right.
like, I'm a very talented musician,
and I'm gonna do it.
and this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And furthermore, the most important thing to me, obviously, is that he was like, all right, I'm willing to pay you. I tell people, they're like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, people pay me to make them money.
100%.
That's what I do.
Yes.
If you're willing to invest in yourself and not be, oh my God, no, holding your wallet, right? Because marketing costs money. That's what he did.
at first.
Yeah.
But
It's
an investment.
It makes you a lot of. It's an investment.
Yes.
So he was willing to invest in himself, which is no different than any of my clients, musicians, non-musicians, whatever, that have said, I want to do this full time and build my brand, my personal brand. I want to get out there. I want to be a speaker. I want to be an author. I want to be a musician. I want to be an executive. I've worked with all of them.
It's all the same.
It's
It's all
all
the
the
same
same.
process. It
It
doesn't
don't-
matter if you're a musician or you do anything else. Yeah.
Right. I've written multiple books on this, courses
Right.
on it, but just the point is, what it was with him is he was confident, and I think that that's major. He was confident. He said, I'm going to do it full time, and he didn't have like a second plan. He was like, I'm Leo Quintero. I'm a Latin jazz artist, musician.
Point.
That's what I do.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay. And I know a lot of famous musicians
Yeah.
from back in the day. And the ones that I know, clients, non-clients, all the same. They're like, this is what I'm doing, and I'm 100% confident in it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. But what I love about your services, it's not just one aspect of it. You're not just marketing them or branding them.
Yeah.
It's really about finding their strength, they find their value, find their spark.
Yeah.
And it's more than just marketing. And
Oh.
package it so people can understand what it is, understand that message, understand that value, and find themselves within and say, yes, I need it. That's so much more. It's just like You have that
I do
gift.
career counseling.
That's what I'm saying.
I do psychology. I do everything for these people.
And that's what it is.
But that's what it is because, like, listen, and
it's that one thing.
I know all about artists and music. I know exactly. And I always say, the only people I want as friends are talented, creative people. I love them. But at the same time, I know that there's a lot of them have dark souls. I get it, believe me.
I know.
And sometimes they think complicated because they're writing symphonies. You know, you can't have a boring person write a symphony. I know this. I have a friend that's a composer.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's so not boring. She's brilliant. But at the same time, I see things that hold her back.
Yes.
I sat with her a couple weeks ago.
Especially money.
I sat with her a couple of weeks ago, and I told her, and if she's listening to this, Rosanna, I told her, you need to move forward in this way. And I was serious. And it's like, I know life gets in the way, and life sucks sometimes when you're a creative professional.
You are.
You're struggling.
You're struggling, exactly.
But if you believe in yourself, and you believe this is full-time, you're going to do it.
Beautiful.
If you have the right direction and right guidance and right plan.
Exactly. Find the right people to help you. Not everything. Don't figure it out by yourself. Go seek out professionals to help you to get to the next level.
Right.
If it's vocal coaching, if it's marketing, if it's whatever, right? Now, for people who just starting off, and they're a musician or they're singers or performers or actors or dancers, whatever.
Or filmmakers.
Oh,
I know, I deal with all of them.
So give me like the most important, like 5 tips to start off. Like from being anonymous, having nothing, to start to have some kind of platform and have a voice in that whole social media.
Well, number one,
Sí.
numero uno. Numero uno for you is to sit down and be introspective about what your strengths are and where you want to focus.
How you find that?
So, a couple ways. One, you have to be true to yourself. You have to.
Honest.
Like, you asked me if I play instruments as a lyricist and a singer. I'm like, no. I've tried them all and I suck at them. Except I'm starting to get the drums a little bit. I love the drums. I want to bang all day. But anyways, so they're so cool. But my point is, I'm like, you know what? I've tried all these things with music, and I finally found my home as a lyricist. I'm natural with words.
Whatever feels natural,
I am
that's
good.
what you say.
Give me a beat, and I'm off.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
So know your strengths.
So you have to know your strengths. So one way is to identify it through your own introspection.
Mm-hmm.
The second way, and probably a really good way, is to ask the people around you that know you the best. Mm-hmm. You have to ask them, right? What do you think I'm good at? Where should I focus, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And listen to the people that truly want to support you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's...
Find that common thread, yeah.
Yeah, that's really important. So once you can identify where you want to focus, right, then you have to decide, and I mean, I do a whole program on this, what your style is going to be. And so I'm talking about style from many different angles. So your style of communication, right? Mm-hmm. How are you going to sell yourself, right? So for me, I mean, I could sit here all day and tell you stories. That's what I like to do. Mm-hmm. Or just give you advice like this, right? So what are you going to do to sell yourself, right? What's your story? How do you communicate, right? Is it going to be a story? Are you going to give them facts? Like I have friends that have been performed X number of times in X number of symphonies, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The other thing would be to decide who you want to create relationships with.
Oh, relationships are huge.
Because in
everything.
In my world, in terms of the social media world, what I call it is creating your social ecosystem, right? Mm. So you need to surround yourself with people that are going to be directly and indirectly related to you making money. What does that mean? You know what I mean? So like we were talking about Juilliard and Manhattan School of Music and blah, blah, blah. So going back to maybe where you went to school, actually it's a great place to start.
That's why I think the only reason why I wouldn't even suggest people go into musical school or performing arts school is just because of that reason. Because just surround yourself with musicians that maybe in the future will work and collaborate together.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So I would say identifying who's going to be in your social ecosystem, from where you went to school to even the people in your life, anybody that's going to impact where you're going to take your artist career.
Beautiful.
You know, you really have to define that and build those relationships, and so that means you have to support them too.
Yeah.
It's not about like,
give me.
Can you do me a favor? It's like, what can I do for you? Which means, for me, so just a quick example, so one of my clients is a band called Sweet Magma. Well, they were a former client. So they're like a crossover between Motorhead and Black Sabbath. I love metal, so they're very cool. And anyway, so I went to I promoted them and I built their brand, helped them build their brand. So I went to their shows as, their marketer.
Right.
But then I was like, no, I'm just going to go to their shows. I'm going to tell everybody about them. So I became a friend. I love these guys. They're really nice. And I like their music. So go and da-da-da. So now they show up at my shows.
Oh.
And they tell their audience.
Maybe they're going to feature you in one of their songs.
Point is, they tell their audience about me. This is the point I'm making. Okay?
You never know.
How did that happen? Because I genuinely supported them.
That's beautiful.
So that's extremely important.
Okay.
Right. Then I would say the last, I don't know if this is 5.
It's number 4 now.
Oh, is it? I can't remember. So, because this question's out of the blue, so I have no idea.
Right.
So, another thing is when you're thinking about where you're going to deliver your brand, you got to figure out which channel is that going to be, right?
Right. Should you focus only on one or just spread your wings?
Good question. Good question. But first, let me start with offline versus online. Okay.
Interesting.
So I was in a band that I left. Jerks. Anyway, but the good thing about being in that band is I got on stage, I had the show, it was on my birthday, the show was awesome. But when I started working with them, they only wanted to be a YouTube band. I wanted to be an offline band.
Actually performing.
Completely different goals.
Mindset. Oh, interesting.
So you have to decide where do you want to spend your time. Because I've worked with musicians where I've got them on stage. I've worked with musicians to grow their online audience. You have to figure out where you're going to make your money. Are you going to create an online course? Are you going to sell $20, $30, $100 tickets to a show? Are you going to perform with solo? Are you going to perform with multiple artists? Like, these are all questions that will create a brand.
Right.
So that's about your business. And that's also about what channels you're going to go after, right? So you really need to figure that out, because if you say, okay, I'm going to spend my time on Facebook, I'm doing Facebook Live all the time, well, then that's a commitment. And it's a commitment, and it takes work. Everything takes work.
For sure. More work than... and you never know what's going to lead to. Right?
And then I would say the last kind of tip I have, for success when you're starting out, is the more... I would say, the more that you can be, especially with artists, open-minded. Be open-minded.
Give up.
Criticisms. I'm talking about, so somebody's a jerk online. Who cares?
Oh, that's happened so many times.
Put your art out there.
You know how many times I get
art out there online.
Evil comments.
I know, and it's just jealousy.
It's not even jealousy.
A lot of times it is with music, what I've seen.
Yeah.
With artist clients, I've seen.
And then you go to their channel, have 0 subscribers or 0 nothing. Who are you?
I had a guy who wrote something. This was a while back. I had a very small client. I said, Jasmine, can you quickly design some Instagram graphic? And I did, and it was okay. It was pretty good, but it wasn't great, And who cares? So, anyways, the guy put it out, and some guy that does Instagram graphic design put the nastiest comment on there about me. First of all, I was going to kill this guy. I used to be a competitive boxer, so please don't mess with me. So these hands are registered in New York City. So, the point is what good is that doing someone else? I don't believe negativity is terrible. So don't let it didn't dissuade me. In fact, it got me excited. In a very weird way. Yeah. I was like, well, what do they say in PR, which is kind of part of what I do? Yeah. As long as you're getting attention, it's good attention, right? So even if some artist or some musician has something bad to say about your music or your art,
at least they said something.
Exactly. So you have to be open-minded and willing to put your stuff out there, because you're never going to know what works. And what I find with artists and musicians is a lot of times they think they know what's good. When it's like my ear is bleeding or I can't look at this, I'm just joking around.
Yeah.
You gotta be open-minded.
You gotta give up on what you know.
Like John Mayer said.
To discover what you don't know.
You know what John Mayer? I watched the John Mayer Berkeley Online series. Right? And, he says to the audience, he's like, how many of you would abandon a project that you own, right? That you think is great for the chance of success of doing something that you're really not sure about, right? And most people in the audience didn't raise their hand. Because they're closed-minded.
Because they're scared.
I don't know what it is. But I'm the opposite. So I think
Love her.
that it's like that artist is such a loose term to me. But let's say a musician,
Right.
you have to be open-minded.
Always.
And you can't feel hurt because there's so many different, and the thing is with art, it's so subjective, right?
Oh.
Like you might love my music and somebody else might hate it.
Exactly.
I love
You
it.
can't take it personally.
You can't take it personally.
You have to focus on you.
Yeah, and online there's all these trolls and these anonymous people that just don't have the cojones
Kahunas.
to do something. You cannot listen to those people. Let those people, because my nickname in music is Fire, fuel your fire to move forward.
I totally agree.
Like, I think that's a really good tip for them.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have something more towards marketing, towards like using social media as a platform, like something more specific in that way? A tip for musicians?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it on your own,
Yeah.
right, know that it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So if you're going to...
It's a commitment.
It's commitment. So if you're going to do it on your own, I would say starting with one channel. Instead of doing multiple.
And focus on your...
In terms of creating content all the time, building a brand, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Like, if you're just starting out and you're doing it on your own and you don't have any help, and maybe you even have a job and you're doing this, try to just start with one channel, build it out, start to
But
tell...
be consistent, right?
Be consistent. Start to tell a lot of people about it. And then it's funny because I do a lot of jams and rehearsals with all different musicians all the time. And they're like, oh, you're always recording everything. I'm like, yep, for two reasons. One, so I can become a better singer.
Nice.
Am I right?
Exactly.
I mean, hello?
Yes.
But number two is that I always have content. Always have content. Always.
Document. Versus... Yeah.
Right. So I think for you starting out, just choose one channel, commit to it. So if it's going to be video, you're going to, either Instagram, YouTube, something where video can work.
Yes, I feel for musicians, that's usually what it is.
Video can work. Or you may say, hey, you know what, Jasmine, I have a gazillion friends already on Facebook. Okay, good. So wherever, either you have a big audience there, maybe you go there first.
Right.
Or channels that really suit your brand and your content.
Agree.
And then you want to think about what your frequency is going to be. Is it once a week? Is it every day? What is the brand? I mean, there's a whole strategy that I do.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg. Like starting with the channel,
Right.
having a design, committing to content. These are the keys.
That's the keys.
When you're starting out, and then seeing what works and what doesn't work, and making.
What for me really helped also to interact.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's social media. You gotta be social. You
Yeah.
can't be just putting putting content
on
and
the
have
other side of it.
Yeah, you gotta really put the time. For me, I put the time every week to comment, and not just spam it with comments, but really listening and put a valuable comment or DM people or do this
Always,
or do
you
that.
have to interact with your audience.
You gotta be interactive.
The other thing that I was going to say is, yes, you definitely need to be interactive with your audience, and you need to create content that's going to spark commentary. A lot of people have no idea how to do that.
That's interesting.
So to do that, you need to ask questions. You need to do polls. You need to do giveaways. There's a million things that you need to do in terms of what we call original content, which you were referencing.
Yes.
The other, and that's not half, that's only a third for me. The other 2/3 are the people that you're supporting.
Yes.
Right? So other bands, other musicians, events that are going on. We want to share those. You want to get involved with groups and all of these things. So
beautiful.
that's how you got to start to build an audience.
Yes. It's about building audience. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
So, speaking of building an audience, if people want to work with you,
yes,
how can they find you? What's the best way to start working with you?
So first let me just tell you about the company.
Yes.
Half of a second. So the company is JS Media. So JS Media is a holding company that has a few different umbrella legs to it, right?
Right.
So I do consulting, keynote speaking, and training for corporations and for executives, right? That's under the JasmineSandler.com brand, okay? Then I have a conference series, all right? We're running it again in 2020. It's for anybody.
Nice.
Okay? And it's a whole day of interactive education.
That's awesome.
On building yourself as a leader and understanding everything about social media, blah, blah, blah.
Ooh.
So that's the brandnewconference.com, okay? Then I have a site that's all about education. For everyone, entrepreneurs.
Nice.
That's courses.jasminesandler.com. So I have online courses on there where you can go and you can either take them, and I don't provide you any guidance, and they're really cheap, But I also have programs that I deliver that are guided. So I guide you through it, answer questions. It's all done through Zoom, so video-based content.
Beautiful.
Where we do the guidance and the coaching, and then the last
So
piece.
it depends on your kind of budget. You can find your way.
Yeah. And
Yes.
then the last thing I want to say is agency.com, the agency, right? Under the agency, we have all of our services that are discounted for musicians. Everything from custom illustration to video design and editing to website design and development. I mean, anything.
It's endless.
To PRs, to promotions, press kits. We do ghostwriting of books. I mean, really.
But that's the beauty of
all of that
And you
stuff.
work with people not only in the United States, you can work with people around the
yes.
world.
And my goal is to go global. So.
But that's the thing.
I
My
love it.
audience comes from all around the world.
Unfortunately, I speak English and some Spanish, but I'm
Google
trying to...
Translate.
No, I'm trying to learn Russian. That's my next step.
Okay.
So anybody in Russia that wants to teach me
still
some
learning.
Russian, I want to learn it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah,
awesome.
that's how they can find me.
Good. So I'm going to put a link down below with all your websites, and you can find what suits you best. But I think the best way to start is start with an online course, just so you have an idea and you understand the language, and can you start on your own and figure it out. And after that, when you feel you're ready, you can take this. If you want to take it to the next
and
level,
that's how it always starts.
Start with and go to the agency.
It starts with learning and making mistakes.
Yeah, understand what works for you, and go from there.
Next level, yeah. So what I was going to say is, so I think that's it. And so what I'm doing now is I'm doing a guided online course. I have 2 sessions coming up, May 15th through the 30th, and I think it's
May 15th, okay.
That's the first one, and then I think the next one is like June 5th through the 20th.
Okay.
And so it's my personal branding and social media course, full, comprehensive.
Nice.
Where I'm doing guided coaching.
Step by step, guys.
So that...
You don't want to miss it.
No, so that you actually take action.
So if you miss May 15th, you can join?
So you can sign up for one of the 2 sessions.
Oh, okay. So we still have time. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
your time and your expertise. And, guys, you don't understand how important it is. There's nothing worse than just singing in the shower and nobody knows about you, right?
That's true.
If you have a gift, and everybody has a gift and everybody has their unique voice, it just takes that one special person to pinpoint it and bring it to the next level.
I would love to.
So just do yourself a favor, click the link below, take that course now before it's not going to be available. And if you are in the United States, in New York area, go check her out, because she's absolutely incredible. I would never, honestly, I don't do any interviews in my channel. So if I bring somebody...
All right. I'm so special today.
It is. It means
Natalia.
you're very special. So not only
you,
she's
Natalia.
an amazing musician, she's also an amazing businesswoman and is a human being. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Yes, if you have any questions or comments, put them down below. We'll gladly, answer it.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Social media.
Social media, right? We gotta interact. So I'll see you guys on our next video. Bye.